asked one thing about this, why he would say that, and he says he was simply on a podcast speculating.
What's the biggest driver of inflation? Not the groceries in this minivan. Nope. Your auto insurance has actually increased faster than groceries, gas, and rent combined. What went wrong? Lawsuit abuse and fraud rates that stage fake accidents are driving up the cost of your auto insurance. Congress is now debating a new transportation bill. It's their biggest chance to stop the fraud and save you money. Tell Congressman Kiley to vote yes and lower your auto insurance premiums.
This is his assumption. I wonder what evidence you may have seen, what they said about this, but what evidence you may have seen that Epstein profited from having dirt on powerful people.
We asked one thing about this, why he would say that, and he says he was simply on a podcast speculating. He called everything else in that podcast speculation. And so we asked him, what was the speculation based on? And he said, oh, just based on things that I'd heard. And so we asked whether he still thinks that blackmail was involved with Jeffrey Epstein blackmailing other people. He said, no, I don't think that anymore. We said, why? It's because the administration says it's not blackmail anymore. So he's clearly getting talking points from the administration on what to be saying at this point. He was very well coached, I will say, but then when we kept pressing him, that's when he got nervous, he got evasive, and he started trying to redefine the word I. And so it was a very, very confusing interview and dishonest in my mind.
So this was not taped. How do you think that impacts how the American people are going to receive this? Because they effectively have to take your word over the word of Chairman Comer, who's saying that he clarified in his statements in the past and whatnot. How do you think the public is set to receive it?
I now understand why Republicans didn't want this taped, because if the president himself had seen this, he would want Howard Lutnick out. He was absolutely, he looked awful. I mean, he just kept spinning himself in circles. He just didn't know what to say at certain points, except that he couldn't remember. And so it was very embarrassing. I understand why now, but the American people deserve the transparency. House Republicans continue to try to get in the way of actually doing a real investigation. This is one example, not taping this investigation.
Before we go, Congressman, with a very short amount of time, you're set to hear from former Attorney General Pam Bondi at the end of the month. What do you plan to ask her?
Well, first of all, we want that taped. We want that on the record. We want her being sworn in, because that's what the subpoena said. But the reality is she has a lot of questions to answer about why there's so many files withheld right now, 2.5 million files, what her conversations with the president were like to lead to the decision not to release the files in the first place.
In a CNN exclusive this morning, special treatment for Ghislaine Maxwell and punishment for talking about her. That is what some of the women say they experienced while serving time alongside Maxwell. Maxwell is, of course, a convicted sex offender and co-conspirator of Jeffrey Epstein. One of these serving time for financial crimes, actually knows out of fear she will be punished. She told CNN's Esther Lee, the warden at the minimum security prison camp in Texas, where Maxwell was transferred, screamed at another inmate for calling Maxwell a pedophile and complaining about her. She and other inmates said they also quickly noticed just how differently Maxwell was being treated.
Within a day of her arrival, we had armed guards, marshals, patrolling. If she had visitation, she would get to, they closed the chapel and the indoor rec and allowed her to use that building for her personal visits when we had visitation, after the visitation building, which is good. We didn't, no one wanted to go around kids or anything. She'd get bottled waters and clamshell meals delivered to her room.
Now, a Bureau of Prison spokesperson told CNN they do not discuss details related to specific inmates, but did say in part that they are committed to the highest standards of integrity, impartiality, and professionalism. Joining us now, CNN legal analyst and criminal defense attorney Joey Jackson. First of all, what do you make of this? Not only are they saying, look, she was given special treatment in this minimum security prison, but that they were punished for talking about her and also for talking to the media about her as well.
Yes, Sarah, good morning to you. I think it feeds into the narrative that many share that she has information, and that information could be very protective of the person who happens to be in the White House. Prisoners are not treated or given preferential treatment unless there's some imperative to do that. And so I think what people make of this is that when you have an interview with the then Deputy Attorney General of the United States, now acting Attorney General, that interview lasts for 2 days. You're asked softball questions. You give information pretty much to determine what you know about the president and his relationships, if any, with
You're just a dumbass.
Jeffrey Epstein.
For one thing, I ain't no kid. I'm a grown-ass man. You're the one born in 2000.
And then what happens is, a week later, you're transferred to a camp. And then not only you transferred to a camp,
I can't wait
for Deputy Attorney
for the day that Armin.
Anyone, highly unusual for you to be transferred to a camp, highly unusual for you to be given special treatment and everybody else punished. And so it just begs the question of what she knows and what she can do, and the fact that they are, that is, it appears to be.
Just so I can come back to this comment and laugh at your dumb
And
ass.
so that's the issue and the question. And as long as she's pampered and others are punished, it's going to feed into the narrative. Is there a part in her future? Is she going to have information that specifically exonerates the president? Is it going to be trusted? And so that's what I make of it, Sarah. She clearly.
Honestly, you don't know nothing about that UFC or MMA, pussy boy.
She clearly has information that could be very protective of the president. And so as a result of that, I think she's given these special privileges, and others are told to say nothing about it.
What kind of issues could that mean for where she is with these inmates clearly upset about her preferential treatment, but also about being muzzled in some instances, not being able to say what they think about her?
Yeah, so what happens, Sarah, is that of course you have certain remedies in the event that you're a prisoner. You have First Amendment rights. You're allowed to talk to the press. You might have things that you wish to say. And naturally, those rights are limited by safety and security concerns, and they're subject to reasonable regulation. But the issue is in the event
he just tries
that
to be like Connor so bad.
Yes, you can file internal grievances with
from his tattoos to the way he talks.
Yes, you can file civil rights lawsuits. Yes, you can consult the ACLU.
You don't know shit about MMA or the UFC.
Yes, you can contact your local congressperson, but it's a chilling effect. And so I think the effect based upon the conduct, yes, you have all sort of legal remedies, but the practical effect is don't talk. Let us do what we want to do. If we want to afford her special privileges, we will. And if you say anything about this, good luck, because at the time that you get your remedy or action is taken on your behalf if you're a prisoner, it's too late, and you've borne so many indignities. And so I think that really is the issue, and it's really concerning to these particular inmates who are being treated unfairly for speaking up about what they perceive, Sarah, to be an injustice of gross proportions.
There's been some new reporting coming from House Oversight that there's become a split among members on whether or not they would support President Trump offering a pardon to Ghislaine Maxwell in order to allow her to cooperate fully with the investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. The chairman had told Politico that there were a lot of people who think it would be a good agreement, that he thought it would have been looks bad, is how he said it. Is there a split among the committee on this? Where are you on it?
When you go and fight another man,
I would love to hear anyone on the committee who believes Ghislaine Maxwell should be pardoned to speak up about that and let us know, because I have not heard of any member of Congress, much less anyone on the Oversight Committee, supporting a pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell. I would say the survivors and really anyone involved with these investigations would say that pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell is the absolute worst thing we can do. I'm not interested in Ghislaine Maxwell because she is a liar. She's a proven liar over and over again. Pardoning her is pardoning a monster. So she should never be pardoned, and I would absolutely oppose that. So should every single member of Congress and everyone in the American public.
A court has just ordered the release of Jeffrey Epstein's alleged suicide note. This is an alleged suicide note, not from his actual quote-unquote suicide, from an attempted suicide from before the one where he died. CNN's Caitlin Polance is in the newsroom with details. Caitlin's also on.
Jake, one of the most sought-after documents that you could imagine in the situation around Jeffrey Epstein, and a moment of transparency. This is a current reported suicide note. Now, there isn't a full authentication of this, and just this document has been unsealed by a judge in the case of the man who was in a cell with him in July 2020.
there's only one thing left to do. The winner survived. This is going to be the biggest fight in women's history. The two most talked about women fighters. Martin, I'm into.
I'm going to willingly trigger my mom's concern for urine therapy and involve some of it at the dinner table. There is not a doubt in my mind that pee is cleaner than tap. They let them off the ship! They let them off the ship! They let them off the ship!
Does anyone else remember Rotten.com? Rotten.com was a shock site that was active from 1996 to 2012.
My name is Mario Reichstetter. I'm 45 years old. I'm a father. I have 2 children. I have a degree in math, master's degree in.
I'm going to willingly trigger my mom's concern for urine therapy and involve some of it at the dinner table. There is not a doubt in my mind that pee is cleaner than tap. They let them off the ship! They let them off the ship! They let them off the ship!
Does anyone else remember Rotten.com? Rotten.com was a shock site that was active from 1996 to 2012.
My name is Mario Reichstetter. I'm 45 years old. I'm a father. I have 2 children. I have a degree in math, master's degree in math and physics. Now I'm on top of this because the government of the United States is engaged in acts of math.
Here, this happened in California a couple of days ago, and the pilot happened to catch this UFO in 4K.
What's good with the collective? Got me back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who's tapping and running up and selling up. If you new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them out the uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. This is for entertainment purposes. You up? When you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Helps collect the bell. Helps collect to get bigger. Helps my people who like this type of content. Tap me with this content. And I appreciate you for watching the TV, whatever the case is. I wish you a smooth 7. Might be a trigger 1 and 2. I hope not. Hope y'all doing good today. You're going through something tough. Remember, bro, you got this shit. I be going through my days too. I just went through like a couple of them not too long ago. And I came here and went straight to work and got straight to it for y'all. But remember, you man, brighter days is coming. You good. You good. I'm praying for you. But I ain't warned you. Y'all know what it is. Let's get straight to the video, man. Let's go.
What's a conspiracy theory that you 1,000% believe in?
Stanley Kubrick was taken out by elitists because he revealed some of their ritualistic practices in his final film, Eyes Wide Shut, right before he died. Stanley Kubrick was probably the most famous and most respected filmmaker for 50 years. But, by all accounts, he was very socially awkward. So to think that he wasn't rubbing shoulders with some pretty powerful people, not out of the realm of possibility. It's also not far-fetched to think that he was seeing some pretty shady stuff at those parties. Felt pretty guilty about what he saw, and he put it in his last film. And word got out that some of those practices were shown, and they worked. And I think those same elitists have perpetuated the more popular conspiracy theory that he faked the moon landing as distraction away from this.
Hey, we're going to obviously. What's the craziest conspiracy theory that you've ever heard?
I just love that a lot of conspiracy theories end up being facts.
Facts or no?
You got the stuff gotta get out. That's it. Right. Yeah. Wow, man. That's it. Wow.
Hey, I heard you give a trigger warning. Because I was a little bit triggered with that one. I hope the baby cool, bro. I want to hear more about that. I'm going to go looking at that story. He bit the baby face, man. They said the baby skin was on the man's teeth or something like that. I couldn't understand exactly what they was on. There was too much shit going on, but they called the National Guard up in here. Bro, tweaking. He tweaking, bro.
This disturbing movie was made so well that the producer was actually arrested upon its premiere. The film's producer and director, Rogero Deodato, had an idea to make a found footage film about an anthropologist who leads a rescue mission into the Amazon rainforest to find a missing American film crew. This film crew was there documenting indigenous tribes that practice. Well, the crew had mysteriously disappeared, and in their place, footage capturing their horrific deaths was left behind. But the extreme violence and gore shown in the movie prompted authorities to arrest Deodato in Italy shortly after the 1980 release of his movie. Not only was the film seized and subsequently banned in most countries around the world because authorities genuinely thought that they had stumbled upon a film, but Deodato was charged with. This seemed even more likely to be the case, since the actors in the film were nowhere to be found. In order to prove his innocence, Deodato was forced to bring the actors into court, revealing that they were in fact still alive and well, but had signed contracts agreeing to stay out of the public eye for a year to promote the found footage aspect of the film. And because the special effects were so good for that time, he and his camera crew were also forced to demonstrate how they accomplished such graphic scenes in court. Because they were able to do so, Deodato was cleared of the charge, but was instead convicted of obscenity, and the film continued to be banned in several countries, despite proving that it was all make-believe.
I remember that clip. I forgot about that. Y'all remember?
It's fake. The cruise ship is fake. It's fake. Think about it for a second. It's the year 2026 and only one person took out their cell phone to record that they want to go home. Where's everyone else?
I mean, I don't know, y'all.
Scariest things ever caught on camera.
A tissue.
First of all, don't raise your voice like that.
Damn. Seconds before that shit blew up. Can anybody explain to me how a man can even get in someone's home and that shit happens? Because I've never heard that, and I'm like really unaware of how that shit happens. How does this shit just pop up and then you hear it and then I don't get it. What happens if you open the door? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm curious. Like, I'm curious. I have a lot of questions about me. So just give a general description in the comments, please. And like, write me in the comments. So let me know.
You know Icy?
We can't answer the door right now, but if you'd like to leave a message.
Who is he? I don't know. JR!
What up?
You been following me since I've been calling you.
JR, call police.
In December of 2022, a user named Harley Quinn posted a series of videos of her neighbor after her Ring doorbell caught them rolling what looks to be a body in a black plastic bag and a shovel. Now, after seeing this, she was justifiably freaked out, especially since it was 2:45 in the morning. And after posting this video online, it garnered over 32 million views, and many viewers insisted she call the police, but they were essentially no help and only seemed to make things worse, because in the following days, she would begin to get harassed by those very same neighbors.
Yes, please. See, I'm here. I'm here. I'm not holding up in a plastic bag.
This is things on that.
Ma'am, we are eating dinner right now, so if you could please stop knocking on the door. I'm just gonna have to call the police myself and we'll call my lawyer tomorrow. Because this is unnecessary.
Eventually, she was told that it was just a rug, but her viewers remained skeptical. One even states, did the cops confirm that it was just a rug? No confirmation on what it was from law enforcement. However, he was arrested on an unrelated charge this week. However, in her final update, she states, I'm alive, and I sincerely do think it was just a rug. I no longer feel safe leaving my own apartment because of the attention that all of this has brought on myself and my family. I can't say much at the moment other than everyone is okay. But the legality is all of this, so I can't get a true update. But let me know, what would you do in this situation?
Rug my ass. Explain the shovel. Why y'all so weird? Why y'all so coming at me now off some weird shit? Like, I don't know. That shit weird. The clip before that, ladies, keep that mace, keep that taser, keep that bone crusher on you, you got fire, you got it, and it's legal for your protection. As you see, there are weirdos out here. Defend yourself, and don't let you see these weirdos be taking advantage. Make sure you get home safe. For entertainment purposes, what I'm saying ain't true.
This photo has a dark secret. Do you see the woman's face in the TV? So this photo was taken over 20 years ago by a woman named Stacey Alexander. On this day, she was playing with her son when she decided to take out her camera and take a photo of him. Before she even took the photo, she said that she felt a dark presence around her. She said that in the house, she always felt like someone was standing behind her or watching her. They were home alone when this photo was taken, and when she got it developed, she was horrified. Because who or what is that? This face was caught in the reflection of the TV. Someone else also pointed out that there seems to be like the shape of a body there. It is kind of hard to see, but there you go. Either way, I'm getting very bad vibes from this photo. Yeah, I don't think I'm sleeping tonight.
They let them off the ship! 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 They let them off the shit, bitch! They let them bitches off the shit! Cause that bitch was on the shit crying. We're people, we're not stories. You're a picture of a story time. You just turned into a fucking horror movie, bitch. Talk about we just want to go home to our families. You won't have no bitches let them off that shit. That bitch put on the camera, got on social media, cried his eyes out. I don't care. That little bitch is mad. Sink that mother. What? Them bitches on U.S. soil. What? Them bitches on soil. Them bitches should be on water. The land.
That's why I trust this shit. It's an experiment.
Everybody knows that the place to find a place is at
Women's.com.
I think you should already know PrizePicks is now available in both states. Download the PrizePicks app and start to play today.
Ask your doctor if Entyvio, including the Entyvio pen, is right for you.
We're going to take out the competition. What'd you think? I wasn't going to hear about this? What's my cut? I am obligated to destroy everything you have built. So what are we going to do about it? I'm going to break into all 6 places.
Who says you're not romantic?
This could be the greatest opportunity of my life, and it comes with danger. Is that a ghost? Benny, nobody's seen that coming. Tulsa King, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Really think Madonna's appearance at the Met Gala was just a star-studded moment? Wake up. It wasn't fashion. It was a demonstration of power by a high priestess of the dark. That outfit isn't just fabric. It's a ritualistic vestment designed to channel ancestral energies before a global audience that, without knowing it, becomes part of the sacrifice. Look closely at the sect surrounding her. Those followers aren't there by chance. They are the guardians of her influence, part of an energy harvesting ritual where she acts as the magnet and the public as the fuel. The elite use this event to reaffirm their control, mocking the masses with satanic symbolism so blatant they don't even bother hiding it anymore. While everyone applauds, she strengthens her position, reminding her masters that their agenda is still in full effect. How long will we remain accomplices to this macabre theater while they normalize their control right before our very eyes? Comment both to learn more about the Sanic agenda.
Look, I get these celebrities, politicians, all these people be doing some satanic weirdo shit, right? I get that. But don't forget, we got regular day people who doing the same shit. It just ain't seen or talked about or cared about because they don't have money. Or as much money as these celebrities or politicians or athletes, whatever you want to say. Musicians, whatever. That's all I'm saying. Don't get lost in the songs. and be tunnel vision looking at one set of people because they got a certain level and realize there's still other regular day people that you might be crossing shoulders with, shaking hands with, kicking it with, who do some of the most evil shit too. May not be doing rituals, but doing wrong to the world or wrong to people. Just saying, look, see the whole board. Don't just look where you want to look or where it's easy to look. Where it's hard to look as well. Try to at least.
Guys, we officially have an update. The virus on the cruise ship just got confirmed to be the one strain that can spread person to person. And a passenger who left the ship early just tested positive in Switzerland. So the virus on that cruise ship is now officially confirmed to be the Andes strain of hantavirus, which is the only strain in history that has ever been able to spread between humans.
Hantavirus from the cruise ship, stricken with a deadly outbreak of the disease. And meanwhile, experts are confirming there have been cases of a rare strain on the ship that can be transmitted to humans.
And a passenger who got off the ship at a stop before anybody even knew about the outbreak just showed up to a hospital in Switzerland and tested positive. His wife is now in self-isolation, and they are now tracing back every single person that this guy may have been in contact with. 3 more people were just airlifted off the ship today and are now being transferred to hospitals across Europe. The total number of cases is now officially at 8, and 149 people are still on board and have nowhere to go. In my update yesterday, Spain actually just
So this is an accusation.
Hey everybody, Dr. G here. I'm a clinical and forensic psychologist as well as a body language expert, and today we're going to be
Remember those classic online kids games from back in the day? Games like Club Penguin, Pop Tropica, Toontown, they used to be massive with millions of active players, but now a lot of them have either shut down or are practically deserted. So I'm exploring 6 of these classic games to see how abandoned they really are, starting with one of my all-time favorites, Pop Tropica. Oh, and to find out if there's anyone left in these games or if they're completely dead, my goal is to make a new friend in each of them, because if I can do that, then I'd say it's a pretty good sign that the game still has some life left. And if I can't, then I'm considering it another abandoned game of the past.
My bad, yo. Okay.
in November of 2020. What do you think? You and I together. That's right. This is where we belong. This is where we belong. Who's ready to ride? This is where we belong. This is where we belong. Have a little home, a place to roam. We are safe and I believe from summer's tea to the river deep. Miles of tomorrow, just the same. For the memories we can make, and that's alright. Hand in mine. In the morning light will still be the guest lead. You and I can conquer everything. This is where we belong. This is where.
And it's complete in the fact that, bruh, these guys are on camera. They're being tracked digitally. Everything's lining up. You see the lookouts. You see the cars that they're driving. You see the Airbnb they're returning to. You see the bags that supposedly contain the guns. You see them trying to evade detection. They got handwritten notes with numbers on it. like any excuse they can have, like, oh, well, I didn't have my phone with me, or I wasn't there because my phone wasn't there. Well, you wrote a list of people calling someone else's phone. Insane, Chad. Fucking insane.
Instant grade.
All right. I don't think we need any breakdown beyond that. I think that was a proper understanding of what the fuck happened. Okay, so let's get to this David thing real quick. So there is now a autopsy that got revealed, and the judge, if you guys remember, we heard the judge order the coroner's office, the medical examiner, to release the autopsy report as soon as possible. That's going to be obviously added to the discovery, and it's now going to be public record, which is, obviously this is a case of murder. Okay? Now, should I play this or should I just read it? I'll play Law of Crimes. Now, some of these details are kind of disturbing.
The autopsy report for Celeste Rivas Hernandez in the David murder investigation has just been released. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Okay, so thanks for joining us here on this breaking Sidebar. As I mentioned right here, this is what we've been waiting for in the David investigation. In the Celeste Rivas death investigation, this is the coroner's report. So it just came in, right? So after David was arrested, after he has been charged with the death of, charged with the murder of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, this is what we've been waiting for. The cause of death, this has been sealed for months, and this is providing a lot of details. I'm going to tell you right now, it is very difficult to read through this. It is gruesome, but this is going to be a key point for both the prosecution and the defense. We know that Celeste's body, the body of this 14-year-old girl, was found in the trunk of a Tesla. Rivas Hernandez was discovered at 1100 hours on September 8, 2025, in the front trunk of a vehicle in a tow yard in Los Angeles, and death was pronounced by a detective with the LAPD. A deputy medical examiner conducted an examination of Ms. Rivas Hernandez on September 10th, 2025 at the DME's Forensic Science Center. The cause and manner of death were determined December 9th, 2025. A court order initiated by the LAPD previously prevented the DME from releasing its findings. And this is the statement of Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Ode Akbo. After several months, I am grateful this information can now be released not only to the public, but also to the grieving family enduring loss. It is unfathomable they have had to wait this long to learn what happened to their daughter. The transparency of the information contained in our findings and reports is essential for empowering the community to make informed changes to effectively reduce fear and allowing the community to take informed action. Making the department's information publicly available is not just about accountability, it is also about social justice and prevention. By ensuring access to this information, we strengthen our ability to learn, to act, and ultimately to prevent the next tragic loss of life. I want to extend my gratitude to our partner agencies for taking the necessary step of filing an order with the court to make this disclosure possible. Mary, I'll first start there. It's not every day you hear a statement like this from the chief medical examiner. Let's start right there.
That's true. Sometimes we don't want to release the specifics about the cause of death in an active investigation because perhaps it's information that only the killer would know. And so that's understandable that might be obscured.